Spencer with Rocket Ed Tech, and I created this new tool within a Google Sheet. I've titled it G Suite File Link Generator. Okay, so let me show you why I created this and how it can be helpful for you. So within each of these three Google apps, we have Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Sheets. Now, when you go into each of these programs, let me just use Google Slides as an example. Okay, when you're in here and you decide that you want to share this with someone else, but you'd like to download it, you would normally go to File and then Download, and then it presents you with a number of different options. Okay, and so that's what this is going to do. This is actually going to be able to provide you with a link that you can share with someone else so that whenever they click on it, it downloads the file, in this case, the Google Slides file, in with the extension that you want it to be. So for example, I have this Google Slides file right here, but I don't necessarily want anyone to access this, and I only want them to always be able to download the PowerPoint or an Adobe PDF. Okay, so how would you do that? Well, the only way that you would normally have to do that is by going here, and then you would have to click on File and then go to Download, and then you'd have to select the one that you want, and that takes a lot of time. And if you've ever worked with PDFs, you know that let's say you did decide to download this as a PDF, but then later on that you needed to make some changes. Well, what you'd have to do is you'd have to go back into this Google Slides file, make the changes that you want, and then go back to File, Download, and then PDF again. And then you have to keep re-downloading that same Google Slides file and then re-sharing it with those same people that you want to have access to that. That can take a lot of time, and this will allow you to save time and a lot of trouble on your hands. So let me just go through this with you. I was creating this little instruction sheet for my teachers. I titled it How to View Teacher Roster with Student Emails. Okay, I'm going to click on Present to show you this so that you can actually see it. So I had these instructions, and I wanted them to be able to access this file on their phones. Okay, and so when they come to this gray box right here, it says to view this tutorial on your phone, you can scan the QR code or visit this URL. Now, this is a fake URL. I've changed it for the purposes of this tutorial, but that's what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to be able to pull it up on their phone by scanning the QR code or by typing in this address. Or let's say I put it in presentation mode and I allowed them to click on this. They would be able to access it on the web. But if I wanted them to always have the most recent version of this file in PDF format, now that presents a dilemma, but I figured out how to do it through this little tool that I'm sharing with you now. So if you look at the bottom left where it says, it's covering it up right now with that, but let me see if I can come out of this and then I'll magnify it. Let's see. This down here, okay, this link right here is a link to the PDF download file link, if that makes sense. So it's as if they're going into this file and clicking on File, Download, and then PDF, except without having access to this, okay? And so anytime I share this link, all that I'll have to do now, instead of going through all those steps again, if I needed to change this file and then re-download the PDF and then re-share it with those same people, I don't have to do that anymore. All I have to do is give them this one link, and then anytime they click on that link, they'll download the most recent version of this file, and that's super helpful. So how do we do this? Okay, so the first thing you would want to do, whether it's a Google Docs or a Google Sheet or a Google Slides file, you would go up to the share button, click on that, and then make sure it says you change to anyone with the link, click on that, and then make sure it says anyone on the internet with this link can view. Okay, we're going to copy that link. Okay, we're going to go to the G Suite File Link Generator file. Now, when you make a copy of this file, it will reside in your Google Drive. So anytime that you want to use it, you just double click on it, open it up, and then you would go through those steps that I just went through. In this case, for us, it's Google Slides. So if you see right here, it says paste Google Slides file link here. So I'm going to go ahead and double click in this box, and I'm going to hit Control V to paste. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, as you can see, it generates two different file links. Okay, one is for the Microsoft PowerPoint option. If you'd like your users to download it as a PowerPoint, then you would highlight this and you would copy it, Control C, and then you could share it in an email or somewhere else. In my case, I wanted them to be able to click on this link and download it as a PDF. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control C. Now, if you wanted to, you could share the link as it is in an email or anything like that, and your users will always, anytime they click on that link, they'll always have the most recent version of the file without you having to go back into here, like I said before, clicking on File and then Download and then PDF after you've made changes in here. So again, super, super helpful. But let's say you wanted to create a short link, like a bit.ly link. So you could type in bit.ly, okay, and then you could go in here, create, okay, you could paste your link right there, okay, and this pops up, and you could say roster view. This is just an example. Okay, I'm going to highlight that and type in my custom URL, the back half. S-roster. Okay, I'm going to click on save. Okay, link has been edited. That means this is available, so I can share that with anyone that I want to now. It's super easy to remember, and hopefully they'll remember that anytime they need to access it, or they can just go back into the email where I've shared that link, and then they can click on it, and they'll always be able to download that particular file in the format that I want them to download it as. So that's what this is about. So when you open this up, you'll see these red things right here. Just disregard those. It's going to say error. It's only saying that because nothing is being filled within those blanks. So it's basically saying, hey, you need to double click in here and share a link. But if you don't need to share a link there, well, then it's just always going to show up there. Unfortunately, I can't remove that part of it. But so that's for Google Slides. If you would like to do it for Google Docs, you can do that as well, and then download it and share that link in these so that your users can download it in these particular formats as well. PowerPoint and PDF for Google Slides, and then a Microsoft Excel file and Adobe PDF for Google Sheets as well. So I'm working on coming up with more file links that will be available in different formats, because as you saw earlier, if you go to File, Download, see there's some other ones in there like SVG and some others. So I hope to bring those to you soon, but this is the G Suite file link generator, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's helpful for you, and hopefully makes your life a little easier. Thanks for watching.